Now I feel like a really horrible person.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you stomped upstairs. You messed that part.
I stomped upstairs and I said no.
I was like, well, that didn't go like I thought it would. Was it that funny? Holy cow.
You guys feel like my friends that I've like built up over the past 10 years. It's sometimes hard. It feels like I'm hurting people's feelings. This was actually a really great moment. I felt like we were in therapy.
Oh, sunglasses?
Gray's decided that we're wearing sunglasses
No,
this podcast.
I'm wearing these clear lens. Yep, yellow lens.
It still looks like Mr. Cool Guy.
Doesn't? Oh, I'm sorry. Can't help that.
Do these look subtle?
Not on a podcast.
But I feel like if you're wearing them, I should wear them.
Why?
Because we're married? I honestly don't wear sunglasses.
Yeah, she's knocked over there.
Oh, maybe. She probably wouldn't want to be a part of the podcast because she got in big trouble today, guys.
She did.
She does this thing, which maybe some of you guys might be a vet, so you can tell us what's going on. Why does Mishi decide to tear up the trash every time we leave the house?
Not every time.
It's only when we go to church. It's like she doesn't want us to go learn about Jesus. She goes in there, opens the drawer without thumbs.
We need to set up a camera.
I'm like, if she doesn't have thumbs, how does she pull our trash can out? And then she goes in there and then like scratches out the trash bag. Like it's only on one side that it's ripped up. And then food is everywhere, but she didn't need it. But she just wanted to be like, oh my gosh, where are they?
Why'd you do it, Mishi?
She gets so scared when we come home too. And it's not like we beat her. She's 7 years out of the prison hub. Why doesn't she trust us anymore?
7 years ago, she was with abusive owners.
Yeah, 7 years. And now she has every closet item that she could have. She has a beautiful fluffy pillow.
She's got an easy life.
She gets massages by me. She gets cuddles. I take her to the pickleball court so that she can hang out with other grandmas that love dogs. It's just confusing. You would think she would be like making us dinner, not making us clean up the trash.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
You're going to ask the World Wide Web?
Does my dog get in the trash? Hey.
My baby picture.
Oh.
You see my freaking pickleball skills?
It's pickleball skills.
I have the best reflexes because of pickleball.
Totally normal and super frustrating dog behavior. When your dog gets into the trash only when you leave, it's usually driven by one or a mix of these reasons. Number one, boredom, separation anxiety. Some dogs act out when they feel stressed by being alone. Getting into the trash becomes a coping behavior or a way to relieve stress.
It must be the anxiety thing. I do feel like she should feel secure at this point. But anxiety is a weird thing. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to just talk to her before we leave. Let her know how much she's loved.
Maybe.
I guess we should get in this podcast. We have a very non-controversial question today. Which I'm really excited about.
Honestly, it's kind of funny to think about that we just hopped on podcasts and just decided to hit the heavy hitters.
No, people ask the heavy hitters.
Maybe, yeah.
So Ashley asks, what did you learn while dating that you want to teach your future kiddos? What qualities would you recommend for your son or daughter? So we get to have a little bit of words of affirmation. God, was that words? Words of affirmation today. We get to love each other.
Oh.
Ray hates words of affirmation, but we're doing it.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, I guess let's just answer the first part of the question. So, what did you learn while dating that you want to teach your future kiddos? Do you want to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wrote these down like weeks ago, but I just wrote a list of things that came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, dating is in light of marriage, which we've talked about. So to date with a purpose, give them the understanding, biblical worldview and understanding of why we would date.
Yeah.
To be in light of marriage, not the cultural understanding of dating, right? So that they can actually understand it for themselves and know, like, hey, it's probably best to wait until we're at a certain point in life.
Oh my gosh, I forgot this door is open. Sorry. I literally saw it and I was like, good Lord, it's halfway open. Sorry. That's
Didn't
our
notice it either.
introduction door.
But yeah, I think that's probably number one.
I'm excited to thoroughly explain it too.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's a lot of non-communication between adults and kids about that type of stuff. And I see that you do that a lot with like Sadie and Towns.
Yeah.
You're really good at like walking them through why it's healthy, not just saying wait till marriage. You like thoroughly you allow them to ask questions and then you give your explanation back to scripture. You do a good job of that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I think that that is, because I mean, we've talked about this, but I really believe that the Bible is true and it's not just arbitrary, meaning that they're not just rules to be rules. Like there's purpose and meaning behind them. And so whenever you actually understand why and the purpose, it's so much easier to live that out. And so, yeah, I am too. I'm looking forward to our kids being, just to be able to understand the things that we say to do, not to do. And obviously sometimes there may be some times where they don't fully understand, but God's commands are for our good. So to teach them that saving yourself for marriage isn't, again, it's not an arbitrary law. It's not restrictive. It's not.
Do we have the same birthday?
We do, and we're also married. But yeah, it's not restrictive, and that it's actually good. So again, if they can actually understand that and believe it, then they're going to be way more likely to see God's word as a good thing, want to read it, want to follow it, those things. Number 3, no one person will ever fully satisfy, only God will. So them to understand that their satisfaction comes from knowing God, right? That should be their greatest pleasure, and that they wouldn't seek to find that in a person, right? And so whenever you are seeking that in the person, obviously it never goes well long term, right? You're putting too high of expectations that are unfair on that person, and it's just not going to end well. Only God is the one, the classic cliche, you got a God-sized hole in your heart, you know? And
yeah, I want them to have confidence, like so much confidence as a human being because of the Lord, not because of anything else.
Yeah. And I think the biggest example of that is going to be them seeing that in us to each other.
Yeah. And
to you, me to you, and then to them as well. And so I think if they can see and that we live the way that we do because of God's word, then they'll be able to see that. So don't put your faith, hope, pleasure in a person, but in a human rather, but in the person of Jesus. 4, when looking for a potential dating partner, look for godly character. Do they actually love God? Do they display the characteristics of a godly woman and a godly man? Number 5, do they make you want to be more like Jesus? You know, do you, whenever you're with them, are you inspired to follow Christ more so? Right? Is that somebody that you look at them, the way they talk, walk, is that make you want to be more like Jesus? Number 6, final. Love is not merely a feeling. Right? This comes from Bodie Bachum's book and his sermon series,
which I love. You need guys.
Yeah, we think we have that linked. Love is an act of the will, accompanied by emotion that leads to action on behalf of its object. I'll read that again. Love is an act of the will, right? So it's a decision. In other words, you are choosing to love somebody, and it's accompanied by emotion, right? So emotion isn't leading, but the choice of loving somebody, it's an act of the will, and it's accompanied by emotion that leads to action. And so whenever you have this choice that's accompanied by emotion, this leads to action on behalf of its object, right? And so object would be, in my case, would be Brooke. I'm choosing to love her, this choice to love her also is accompanied by my emotion, the feeling that I have for her of love. And that leads to my action of loving her, taking care of her, all those things, right? So I would say to my future son or daughter, explaining to them the biblical form of love in the context of relationship, that it's not merely, I'm in love with this person, and I believe in the sermon series he talks about the Greco-Roman view of the one. I've got the one. It's soulmates. He talks about soulmates and how that's all Greco-Roman ideology, and it's not really a real thing, in that this person's meant for me because I feel this way, and so if it's just based on a feeling, then it's gonna fade, right?
Yeah.
And when you don't feel a certain way, then I guess that means I fell out of love.
Yeah.
You hear? So let's get a divorce.
That's why people get divorced.
Yeah, fell out of love.
Makes me sad. Yeah.
It's not a thing. It's because your wrong definition of love.
Yeah, it's just holding on to that first feeling that you had at the beginning of the relationship.
Yep. So explaining that to my kids. So that's what I have.
Sweet.
6.
Okay, so that's your 6 things that you would teach our future kiddos.
Yes.
You kind of took a little bit of mine, which is great because we're married. We have the same birthday. So I'll just do my other ones that you didn't say.
Okay.
So this one's very cliche. People say it all the time. Can you guess because it's cliche?
In the context of dating, cliche, wait for marriage. Submit to your husband.
No, you're stupid.
God is a consuming fire. He's going to come down with vengeance and a sword coming out of his mouth, eyes of fire, to slay the unrighteous. No?
No. Not what I was thinking.
He's going to pour out his wrath on the unrighteous.
No, I was not thinking that.
No.
Grace trying to turn this into a little controversial one again. This is supposed to be lighthearted, cute, and funny, and bubbles. And he's like, let's add some spice.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. What is it?
It's communication is important.
Oh. Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to guess.
So I've heard this a million times growing up that communication was important. But I was never taught like proper communication. As I've told you guys before, my communication growing up, anything that was controversial was more blown up. And so I tried to stray away from any sort of communication, confrontation, bringing up something that was like against whoever the person in my life thought process was. And so I never brought up any sort of communication in any relationship up until you and I. Did you know that? Yeah, so you were the first person that made me realize it. And the first time I realized I was bad at communication?
I feel like I vaguely do. Not off the top of my head, though.
It was the Holly story.
That's so funny. OG YouTube.
The OG YouTube Holly story is what made me realize
That's so funny.
that is a bad form of communication. And I don't know if everyone has heard of it. Has heard that story. So for anyone that's new, we're going to tell you what happened. So Gray and I were at the beginning stages of us talking, probably like a few months in, 6 months in, probably way too long for talking. Actually, it was too long for talking. And
it was New Year's.
It was New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was. It had been a while at that point, yeah.
My family personally loves blowing up everything that we do. You see it in our birthdays. You see it when people graduate. Any little thing that happens, it's like a celebration. And so I wanted to make this cute little New Year's Eve party. I bought decorations. I bought little party hats for Gray and his family. And then whenever I came over, I soon realized that was not Gray and his family's vibe. They started going to bed at like 10 o'clock. They were not going to celebrate.
I was sick that day.
Yeah. And also on top of that, Gray had like freaking the flu during that time. So he was not having a great time. So there was no way for me to get like upset because Gray was sick and, didn't feel great, was very down. So he wasn't in the mood to celebrate, So it's about to be 12. The clock's about to strike 12. Everybody else is asleep. Gray's asleep on this little leather couch, sweating up a storm because he's sick.
Sweating like crazy.
Disgusting, nasty. So the clock is like ticking down. It's like the 10, 9, 8, that type of stuff. And while the clock is clicking down, Gray gets a FaceTime call.
It was just like a Snapchat call.
A FaceTime call on his phone. And the label is Holly.
So you thought.
So I thought it was Holly. And Gray didn't wake up for the countdown of our kiss, but he woke up for this FaceTime call. Gave me a little smooch, got his phone that had the little Holly FaceTime call, and went downstairs. Went downstairs away from me in a different room. So I thought he was giving another girl a smooch on like this little 12 o'clock countdown thing. I'm over here with my party hat and decorations that I brought for this little ungrateful piece of crap. So what I did is I packed up all my stuff, folded his little blanket at 1 a.m. and drove to Nashville to go hang out with my friends. And I was expecting to never talk to this man ever again. Without any communication as to why I was upset. I was just never going to talk to him ever again. We've talked for 6 months. He hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend. He's talking to Holly.
I think that I had woke up at like 2 a.m. to go get some water or something, and I went upstairs to check on you, and no one was there, and so I folded up, and I was like, "What the heck? You just randomly left?" So I think I might have texted you or something. Yeah, you said something about I saw you got a call from Holly or what. I'm like, it took me a while to put it together what it was, what you were talking about.
The way I found out was through Gray.
Yeah.
But I never really truly asked to figure it out. Turns out the Holly that I saw was Haji.
Yeah. It was a guy on our baseball team at the time. And they named the Snapchat group chat like his name plus something else.
Haji.
Yeah. It wasn't Holly. You had your contacts out at the time or something?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So it was my college baseball Snapchat group chat that did like a call or whatever at New Year's. And I went downstairs because it woke me up. I was asleep.
Yes.
And it woke me up, and then made me realize how uncomfortable I was.
Yeah. So that was my first ever recognition of, you know what would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of sleep is to have asked, hey, who's Holly? At that time, at that moment, on the spot. I wouldn't have had to fold up my clothes. I wouldn't have had to drove an hour back home. I could have figured it out just then. And so that was a lot of sanctification from then on of like, oh my gosh, communication's so important. Why have I not been taught this? And why have I not done it?
Just to clarify, Brooke, neither of us were really following Jesus at this point.
Episode 2.
Yeah. So just to clarify, if you're wondering why she was over at my house that late.
Yeah.
Gonna sleep over. That's why.
Go to episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that's a recommendation I would give to my kids is, like, communication is important. But I really, truly believe that, like, that's going to be one of my main goals is to be as communicative with our kids as possible. Like, if they have questions, I want to answer all of their questions. If they are, struggling with something, I want them to be able to put it into words and not be fearful of communicating because it can be a beautiful thing that I just never really experienced, growing up. And so
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, I think and they learn that too by us communicating to one another, to them.
Yeah.
Clearly, I think it'll become natural as well.
Yeah. So, yeah. Communication is important. Next up is I wish I dated the biblical way. I really, am kind of envious of people that got to experience the biblical way of dating because I feel like they skipped over so much heartbreak.
For sure.
I mean, they skipped over everything that we experienced. And one thing that I struggle with is recommending that to our kids because that feeling of whenever your parents have done something already and they tell you not to do it and it makes you think, well, you've already done it. So why am I going to listen to you? sometimes I have that fear of like, since we didn't date the biblical way, our kids are going to be like, well, I want to experience it too. When I
never really had those thoughts.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
But I'm sure that's common. I'm sure a lot of kids probably do. That's never how my brain worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, we don't have the same birthday and we're not married.
I don't know. I also never really had those, like, I never really had those restrictions on me.
Oh, yeah, your dad is kid. A kid is a kid. He's a sweet man that's like, let's do it. Woo.
So, yeah, if anything, it was more, I saw certain things that I was like, I'm definitely not going that direction. But I think a lot of that reaction does come out of the lack of explaining. It's just more of, don't do this.
Okay.
Right.
Not being intentional.
Yeah, and it was just arbitrary to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually explained why.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It just felt like, oh, you just don't want me to have fun or experience this guy.
Oh, Mr. Blaze.
Hey, buddy.
Did you want to be a part of the conversation?
Go. Get up there.
Big boy. Come on.
Look at his feet. Oh,
His whole hips. Come on. There you go, big boy.
Oh. Pickleball reflex.
Woo, buddy.
He is not flexible.
Sit down, buddy.
Put his legs on your legs. There you go. Okay. Sorry. But yeah, I think I would just also explain what happened, like what were the negative parts of going my own way, and then also expressing
Bro, chill. Like, lay down.
also expressing how if I could skip all those relationships to you, I would. You know?
yeah.
Like if I met your dad first, or if like I met God first, I would try to build up my biblical literacy before knowing you. Because I'm honestly so envious of people also that during their single years, they just built up their knowledge of God. And it's not because they have all of this knowledge and it's cool of them to have knowledge. It's just you can see their confidence in God.
Yeah.
They have so much confidence and knowledge about like the Bible that if they do come and encounter this guy that could possibly make them insecure, they brush it off because they know so much scripture and they can combat all of these worldly things that would typically make someone insecure and be more secure in the Lord, you know? Yeah, I would just wish I built up my biblical literacy instead of built up insecurities and people and experiences, you know?
I think that's great.
You're trying to joke. Why are you trying to
trying to get him to lay
pull?
down.
You gotta pull his legs. He's just stiff. He's a stiff man.
Bubba.
I don't know.
He
man.
wants to stand up. He's like not comfortable.
He's so stiff. He needs to do some stretching. Oh, now you're twisting his little hip.
Here, Bubba. Oh, there we go.
Oh my goodness, Blaze, you're so cute. Oh my gosh, this is such a good podcast right now. Look how cute he is.
Take this off. Take it off. Here. Relax.
Okay. So that's my last things that I would teach our future kiddos because you kind of covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
So now let's go into qualities that we love about each other and that we can be super happy about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mishi and Blaze, you guys want to explain qualities that you love about us?
Nothing? Okay. You want me to start?
Sure.
Remember, I got 8.
Wow.
Yeah, I love you way more.
You do. Well, I feel like I should have 8 now.
Okay, see you, Blaze. What qualities in each other would you recommend for your kids? Number 1, none of these are in any particular order. They were just like off the top of the head. I would say Brooke's compassion. So Brooke has a lot of compassion for other people, empathy. She really puts herself in other people's shoes, and I think tries to feel what they would feel in particular moments, etc. And so she feels a lot for other people, which I think is a great quality, whereas I'm a lot more black and white with things. Brooke is much more compassionate than I am. And so definitely would want our kids to have, balance of both of ours. Was it that funny? Holy cow.
Like, I love how much she feels, but I'd rather it be out. I would rather it be half and half too, but how funny was it that you built up that first part and then you put it down?
No, I wasn't taking it down. 100% of both.
100%.
Not 50-50, yeah.
Okay. Man, that was funny.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you. It made her cry, but not how I expected. Number 2, Brooke's authenticity. Brooke is very authentic. I think this is a huge reason for her success on YouTube, social media, is because the way Brooke is in her videos is exactly how she is in person. And I think for the people that have met her or know Brooke, it's very evident. She doesn't try to be someone else. She is who she is. And so she's very, very, very authentic. And so that's a very admirable quality about her. Would definitely want my kids to emulate that of just being themselves and not trying to be someone else or being one way around certain people. But Brooke she's always the same on her videos, and no matter who she's in front of, no matter who she meets, she's the same. And so huge, great quality. Hugely good quality.
Hugely, very big.
Hugely. But no, yeah. Her authenticity, great quality. Number 3, her joyful energy. Brooke, if you watch her videos, it's very joyful. Always brings just a positive energy. If you walk through the door, she's very happy to see you. Even if I was gone for 30 minutes. It's like she hadn't seen me in months. And she does that not just with me, other people too. And so her joy is infectious, and it's such a great quality to have, and just like brightens the room. And so definitely would want my kids to have that. Number 4, her work ethic. So Brooke, is actually, although she sleeps in, she just loves to sleep in. Brooke is a hard worker. She actually does work hard. And I don't think, even though we do give her a hard time about sleeping in, she does work hard. And I think that's evident in what she's created in her social platforms, her consistency in it all, and being able to basically post a video every day for the last nearly a decade now speaks to her work ethic. So she is a hard worker, even though, it's not real work. No, I'm kidding. As some would say. Brooke and I were in Jamaica on a brand trip. And I was with another guy who I just ran with, and we were in a coffee shop, and another guy that this guy I was with had met on the trip. They were talking, and he was like, this guy was mistaking me for another guy and asked me if I was here, shooting content as an influencer. And I said to him, no, I have a real job. And this guy had, we hadn't met. He had no idea that, we were there for
literally to make TikToks and reels.
Yeah. So I was like, haha. But yeah, Brooke's work ethic. She is a hard worker. Number 5, Brooke's love for God and her desire to be obedient to him. She really does love God, and I think that is evident in her life, and it's been very cool to see. I've got to see like the complete change in her over the years, and obviously we love my kids to have that affection for God. Evidence of her affection to God is that she desires to obey God. She doesn't like the idea of disobeying him. I think this podcast is one of those explanations or examples of her crying and fighting it, but it really burdening her because she wanted to obey God and what he's called her to do. Jesus does say, if you love me, you will obey me. And so I think Brooke's desire to be obedient to God is evidence that she does love him. So number 6, her humility. Brooke is very humble. Brooke has had, especially at a young age, a lot of success, worldly success, in a way of like, she, started making money way, younger than most people, certainly me. And yet you would never know it. She's not flashy. She doesn't care for people to know how much money she makes, or possessions, or how many followers she has, or those kind of things. And the temptation could be to do that, but she doesn't find her satisfaction in that. And so Brooke is humble. She's authentic. She's just herself, like I've already mentioned. She also thinks about others a lot, which is a sign of humility. You don't think less of yourself, but you think about yourself less. C.S. Lewis. That's humility. Number 7, her thoughtfulness. So now that we have a house, in our guest room, she has this thing now where she will take the picture frames that we have and then insert pictures of whoever's going to be staying in that room for their little side table desk. It'll be pictures of them with us on their little side table. And she also makes a little goodie bag for them of their favorite snacks and whatever. It's so thoughtful. She did for her niece and nephew, she did a whole like camp cookie, planned a whole itinerary for them. Our friend Alex comes in town. He's a big Miami fan. She made his whole room like Miami themed. She's always thinking like that. I would never do that. Wouldn't even, not because I don't want to necessarily, even though I don't, but it would just not even cross my mind at all. So that's a cool quality, to think of others like in that kind of way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would just not even remotely thought of that. Number 8, her support. I think in all the things that I've done, Brooke has been very supportive, in the clothing brand, when I started Night at Home, to my running a marathon, whatever it is. She's very supportive in all those things, helps me with it, goes with me to the things, whatever it is. Even when, I started the brand and she might have thought, I don't know if this will ever become anything, and I was spending all the time on it, and
Never.
I kept, telling her like, this is going to work, she never discouraged me in any way, but always just supported me in any way that I needed it. There's another one on this line. I'm trying to think of the word. Yeah, maybe it would fall under humility. I'm not sure. But I was thinking about this the other day, like whenever, and Brooke and I were pretty young, 19, 20, when we met. And like I said, Brooke had been making money since high school, basically. I didn't have any money.
He was a cute broke boy.
Yeah, basically until last year.
Yeah, our whole, yes, everything.
Yeah. It's something I'm looking back on now, that I'm, by God's grace, had some success in business, is that, like, Brooke, she never used the fact that I didn't have any money as, like, a means for, like, why she would be with me or not. And I think that speaks to her authenticity and, like, the things that she looked for. Whereas some girls, maybe would not, maybe wanted to be with me or other guys, right, if they don't have a bunch of money or whatever it is. So superficial. But yeah, Brooke never did that. And the cool thing is the business did end up working out, and my part of my dream with the business is like that it would be to a point to where it would be able to support my family, and that Brooke would, if she didn't want to work, she didn't have to, if that's what God was calling us to do. And so to know that you were with me before any success or that I've had in business, now that the business is successful, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Versus, you're with somebody like after you're already successful.
Yeah, money's not an attractive thing to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think you as a person was the most attractive thing. Not your soul, not you physically.
Well, on that topic, there is something to say, I guess, to the people out there. Is like one thing that monetary success can show is like ambition and discipline and hard work and like all those things, which are good qualities to have. And so, you know, which for someone looking for his spouse, it's like you don't have to look for someone with money, certainly not, but they should display those qualities. They shouldn't be lazy. Laziness is a sin. And so, but to not just look at someone for monetary reasons is very important. So, you have anything to add on that?
And I just love you so much. That was the best thing ever.
Was it?
It felt like I sneakily made that question just because of how much it led back to me. That was very cute and sweet.
Was it?
Yeah, you did so good. It felt like we were doing our wedding vows.
Did it?
Yeah. It just reminds me how much I love you.
Oh,
Again.
I love you.
Love you more. Sorry, I could not be separate in a seat with you saying all that. Should I tell you my stuff in your seat again?
Yeah, you're just like right here.
Yeah, that was so very kind. I'm not very good at receiving words of affirmation either, so sometimes I'm like...
Are you not?
I cry about it, but I don't even know what to say because it's so kind. It's like I feel like I need
I don't know what to say either.
Yeah. It's like...
awkward.
How do you add to how kind of words that is? But it's cool. It's cool that we get to list out the attributes that we want for our kids. I love that part about it.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's cool.
Love it. Thank you, Peppers.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mine, it's not as long as your list. Like, I thought we were going to do shorter lists and it expands, and now I feel like a really horrible person.
No, it's alright. I just have less qualities to love.
That's not true. You know I love you like an uncomfortable amount. Okay? Before we get into my shorter list. So, my first quality that I love about you is your temperament and just how rock solid you are. Not abs. I knew it. I felt what you were about to do. I felt this. And I said it. Okay.
Both are true. Not recently. Actually, I gotta get back in the gym. Marathon, you know, my muscles have shrunk a little bit.
It made you a little jello.
Not jello, but just, you know,
a fellow.
A little bit. I don't know. I'm not as big.
It's okay. You're big to me.
Thanks.
But yeah, your temperament. And that's a quality that I feel like is not only important for a husband, but for a father figure as well. I feel like every quality that I do love about you, I had in mind like our kids and what to look out for, how would be the best way to raise a kid. One example is literally the other day. The other day, Gary and I were watching a YouTube video, and we had disagreements on the YouTube video, but it was a very calm disagreement. Like, there was never a point where it was like a lot of anger. We just had a disagreement about this one YouTube video. And something happened where you were explaining where the disagreement was at and where we might be like tripping up on it. And I was like, well, what do you mean? What do you think I'm tripping up on? And in your eyes, you thought I wasn't listening to you. And so you said something like, wait, were you just hearing what I was just saying? And for some reason, it plucked a little like anger inside of me. And so I like erupted for the first time in our marriage at Gray by just like yelling, no. Like I was like, no, you're wrong. And I like a full bottle of shame just like went over my body because I'm never
and
like.
You stomped upstairs. You missed that part.
I stomped upstairs and I said no again. Like a little kid, like I was like, no. And that guilt just like filled up in my body because I was like, you know, that's something I promised to never, you know, blow up in ways that I had seen before in the past. And so I like started trying to get ready for bed and like hide in my shame and like try to talk to God about it. But I just was feeling so shameful and like disgusted at who I was, because obviously I wasn't imitating any qualities of what Jesus calls us to be like. And so I was fully expecting Gray to like feed into that anger, but I saw it in his eyes. He was scared. Not scared. I saw it in his eyes. He was just like didn't know what to do because he just hadn't seen that in me. And so when I was in bed hiding, like I hear little footsteps coming up. I'm like, oh gosh, he's gonna yell. Like he would be upset, even though he never yells at me. He came in with our dinner and made me dinner, even though I just yelled at him. Just that one word of no. And he came in, gave me the dinner, gave me a little kiss on the cheek and a hug. And I immediately sobbed because it's like he could have made his temper go up. He could have reacted in this extreme way. But it's like, no, I married a man that imitates the Lord. You know, like his qualities imitate Christ. And so it's just so cool that like our kids get to experience that, because like one day we're going to have kids who they blow up. They're going to say mean things towards us. But it's just so cool how much of a rock you are and how stable you are with your temperament. And like, those are qualities that I aspire to have too for our kids, as an example. So,
thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
You know what's funny is when that happened, I was like, well, that didn't go like I thought it would.
Your eyes were like, why are you yelling?
Yeah, but I actually remember I remember praying. I just prayed that God would use that for good in some way. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I think this is actually a tangible example of that he did, and he is.
He did, yeah.
So, just a little advice to people in moments like that.
Don't react.
Yeah, don't react. But
you can react in a healthy way, but yeah.
Yeah, don't react negatively, or blow up off of temperament or temper. But yeah. So that is cool. It
grew us, yeah. I mean, that was my first time ever, like, raising my voice at you.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
Love you.
Brooke's got to have her physical touch after every.
I do! That's why I put less, because I didn't have to have
You got to do, like, a zoom in on
that. Okay, so the next quality is your patience, which I kind of coincides with being a solid rock in your temperament, but I think it should have its separate category, because you're very patient with even me. Mm-hmm. He's a big example, because like I said, whenever I was bad at communication, I kind of went into this butterfly world. That's what I did whenever growing up. Like anything that was like controversial, I didn't respond well. And that carried on into my relationships growing up. And I did that to you. Like, I don't know if you remember, but like, you probably do. With our FaceTimes, sometimes when we would have disagreements, I would just go silent. Because I didn't have the words to say, and I wanted to go into my, quote unquote butterfly world. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we would sit on FaceTime for like 5 minutes. And I was like, why isn't this man giving up? Why isn't he hanging up right now? Why do I have to sit in silence? But it's because you're so incredibly patient with, like, you knew that my communication style just wasn't there yet. And you were willing to wait and listen and be patient about it. Like sometimes in person, I would do the blank stare. And you would put your right hand over my head like this and your left hand like this. You would square my little head in your arm, and you would just stare at me and wait for my response. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so kind. Like, in my little box, like, oh, he's waiting. Yeah. Patience.
Thanks. Yeah, it's funny. Brooke does she actually makes it pretty easy to be patient, because I will say, like, anytime Brooke gets upset or anything like that, she's always quick to apologize. And so that makes it easy on me. I'm like, well, I don't have to react, because I know, once she, gets out of her anger or whatever, impatience or whatever it is, it's like she's going to realize that she overreacted. She's going to be genuinely sorry about it. And so, like, for me, I've learned that. And so that's why doesn't even bother me hardly anymore, because I'm able just to be like, just wait, basically.
Just wait for it.
Because, I mean, seriously. And so that's a testament to you as well. And so, yeah.
Oh, you're giving me compliments back?
Yeah.
Love you. This is the best.
Hand counter. Hand touch counter.
The next one is your leadership and knowledge of the word. This is something I really admire about you, because I get to see it every week. Mm-hmm. We have, a lot of you probably don't know, we have like a Bible study with a group of people, and every week I'm just so in awe that Gray studies right before he's about to do it, which I don't know if that's calling you out or not, but he studies just right before, very gradually looks through it. He teaches it because the word is like the back of his hand, it feels like, to me.
Well, yeah. That's if it's a passage that I've,
read before.
I know the passage,
Yes. When it's in the Old Testament, like one time we were working over Ezra, that was a little complicated.
Yeah.
We still love Ezra.
It was more difficult.
We still love Ezra. But each week I can just see like these aha moments of each person in group and like how much it affects them and how good you are at pouring into these men. You're also very good at like leading men. I can see guys having aha moments with the Lord by seeing your character in these groups. Like Gray has like this little running group and there's both Christians and non-Christians, and it's just a great opportunity to like intermingle the both. Like he gives them space to be non-Christian and also have questions about the Lord and be able to communicate their feelings and their thoughts, and he just does a really great job of just pulling guys together. And I haven't had that quality yet, and so it's just like all these qualities I lack, and so it's so cool to have a spouse that has it, so I can like have a cheat code. Like I'm like, what does he do to achieve those things? And then I see you read the word every morning and then be bold about inviting people to hang out, and just I take notes about what you do.
Thank you, babe.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Also, like another leadership moment and like knowledge of the word moment is like anytime I have my little fluctuations of emotions, you do a really great job of, again, being your temperament is even and just bringing me back to the word. Like, for example, the other day I had a little bit of a sad moment with the podcast because, like, as I've said before, you guys feel like my friends that I've like built up over the past 10 years. And so it feels hard seeing some people feel offended by the word of God, and for us to be able to discuss it, it's sometimes hard. Like it feels like I'm hurting people's feelings. I think also because I just have like a feeling of wanting to be a people pleaser. Like I want people to be happy by hearing the word, which is an offensive word sometimes. And so whenever I had some backlash with the podcast, like it felt like I wanted to quit. It felt like I wanted it to be over. But, Gray reminded me of just like, no, God called you to do this. This is what the word says about how it's actually more loving to express controversial things and to be offensive when it's not actually offensive. It's actually loving to tell them the word. And so anytime I'm in a tough spot, you're the perfect person to go to. You just have so much knowledge of what, God would say. It's great.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Happy to do it.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay. Well, maybe it's good that I had less because I'm elaborating a lot on it.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Okay. Last but not least is your ambition. We're married. I literally had your ambition down. When you said it, I was like, oh, me too. So your ambition is so attractive. I think it's a very attractive thing. I don't think it's attractive just because it's gained success. I think it's attractive because it's something that you love and you continue to pursue anyway. Like 3 years ago when you started it, you were working out of an ugly basement, nasty conditions, only one worker in your life. You were doing like all of the shipping yourself, and sometimes drops didn't do that well. And also like conversations about it, you were saying you're starting a clothing brand. People weren't like excited to hear that. They're like, what's your other job that you're doing? And you're like, no, I'm starting a clothing brand. You're very confident with it, and you just continue to do it even whenever people were negative about it. Even with me, like I had some people in my life were like, what's his other job that he's going to do? I had no doubt in my mind that you were going to be successful with your job. Even whenever it was starting out of your basement, I was like, yeah, he should probably quit his other job and pursue his clothing business because he's going to make it good.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
I did have another job, to clarify.
Yes.
Yeah, for a period of time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that bad?
No, it's good. But I see
Okay.
what you're saying. Just I could see the confusion on their part. Like I wasn't able to just quit or like not have another job.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were wanting to know what your career was.
Yeah, like what's his real job gonna be?
Yeah.
Like that.
Like what? He's selling hats. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Like No, I was like, no, he's selling hats and he's involving with the Lord. That's two things that he's passionate about. Every clothing item that he wears, he knows the fit and shape of it. Every cloth that he looks at, he sees what it's made out of. Like, I know that this guy loves clothes and he loves the Lord, and he's combining the two, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be better than any clothing brand I know.
On your mama.
And it is. And he was so confident at it, even when it wasn't making money for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most handsome thing ever. And so even if this clothing brand ever goes down, which I don't think it will because of your passion for it, I think that you'll have ambition for something else that involves the Lord too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you, babe.
You're cute.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That was all very kind words, babe. Thank you. I love it. You got a little passion at the end there. You love that.
I did.
On the haters.
All the haters. They can not do well.
I wasn't aware of it. This is news to me on the haters.
Was it? Well, it was just like people in the church.
Yeah,
like there was people that were just asking about updates, and they're like, "Oh, he's doing a clothing brand," and then it's like, "What else?"
Back at your old church or our current church?
Like old church, yeah.
That doesn't offend me because I get that everybody and their mama wants to start a clothing brand today.
Yes.
You know, and there's way too many.
Yes.
And
I think that's people's initial thought.
Yeah, which is, that's what I'm saying. I get it. Mm-hmm. And so that doesn't offend me at all.
Yeah.
So I understand why people would say that. But it is, by God's blessing that it's worked out.
It's worked out. It's doing great. I can quit. Just kidding.
You could, which is pretty cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I could quit.
I was just saying, specifically on the topic of the brand, obviously, like you have helped so much, just doing what you could with the videos, and like how much that value that brought to the brand and made us, because of how good your videos were, how much that made us look way bigger and more professional than we actually were. We're out here in this nasty looking basement, but our videos are just killing it because we got Brooke over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're a reason for our success too.
Aw, thank you, Bebas. Again, so bad with compliments.
The vision is much bigger. Vision is huge.
Yeah, vision is giant now. So excited. We want to make it where it's more community based, like more pop-ups, and we get to interact with people, and maybe one day a conference.
Yeah, annual conference maybe.
One day.
I haven't said that publicly ever, but I've had that for a long time.
Sorry.
That
should I delete it?
You don't have to. Okay. But I've had that. From the beginning. Really, I had that kind of dream. Okay,
Ashley, thank you so much for asking this question. This was actually a really great moment. I felt like we were in therapy. We had to tell each other how much we love each other, what qualities. It was great. But yeah, so thank you, Ashley, for asking this question. We'll probably take one more question or two more pertaining to dating. And then this season is over. Scary berries.
We're never podcasting again.
No.
Sad.
He's lying to you. We'll be podcasting with another season. It's kind of up in the air what that season will be about. Maybe it's church, because that's a big next step for someone that's curious about Christianity. Hard questions about that would be great, but we just don't know. We don't know what you guys want to hear. So again, comment what you want. Next podcast will be about something. I don't have the question in my hands, but it will be something. And we're doing it every other Thursday now, so that we can be fueled up, you can be fueled up, and caught up to all the episodes. So, yeah. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for this cute question. Peace.
Peace. Love you all.
That was such a fun one, Bebes. We should do that every week.
Love session.
A love session.
Verbal love session.
A verbal love. At the end of the night, we just say, hey, what'd you like today?
So, I look so ugly.
Why did that taste acidic?
It's really acidic. Give it back. It's bad for you.
That's playing in a test. Test.
Hey,
Oh, hey. Hey is right.